Potty training is wildly misunderstood, and in this video, I'm going to show you how we potty trained this puppy as well as all my other foster puppies in under a week. My one-step proactive potty training process is to take your puppy outside to the potty area day and night every about 1 to 3 hours. Again, day and night. And you may say, wait, Rachel, that's simple. Of course I take them out. The key is that we do not want to allow our puppies to practice the behavior of going potty indoors. If and when we allow our puppies to have accidents inside or in their crates, they are practicing that behavior. And the more we allow it, more on that in a second, the more likely they are to repeat that behavior. If you are not at least doubling or 4xing your step count and you're still having accidents indoors, it means you're not taking them to their potty area frequently enough. And I'll talk about nighttime routine in just a moment. What we're doing here is we are establishing that mind to bladder connection. Because you're taking them outside so much, they are starting to realize very fast, wow, every time I go potty outside, good things happen. And every time I have this urge to go potty, we're outside in the grass or we're outside in the potty area. This is probably where I need to start pottying. And what you will see if you're doing this consistently and frequently enough is your puppy will start navigating and getting closer to the back door when they have the urge. Let's talk about nighttime, because you're gonna say, wait, Rachel, you want me to set my alarm and take my puppy outside to potty in the middle of the night, even if they're not crying? In my experience, I have found that if I don't allow my puppy to get to the point of immediately and urgently needing to go potty, I have had a tremendous level of success with potty training. And I know you may say, well, this sounds great in theory, Rachel, but I have a job. I can't wake up every few hours. This just doesn't sound reasonable. And the best thing about this is what I've learned for me is this process works as fast as I am disciplined to follow it. Meaning there have been times where I haven't been as diligent, as good at taking my puppies out as often as I know that I should. And all that does is it doesn't mean that I can't potty train the puppy. It just means it's gonna take longer. You may also wanna ask, Rachel, I take my puppy potty outside, but then they come in and they go potty again, even though they just went outside, or I take them out and they won't go potty. What do? They just wanna play and dig. Main reason I've learned that puppies go outside, potty, and then come right back in and potty right again is because they have not learned how to fully release their bladder and empty it fully. So the simple workaround is when your puppy goes potty outside, give them a minute. When they finish, wait a couple extra minutes. Continue walking around slowly a little bit and letting them walk around to activate and stimulate their bladder. And the way that I reinforce the behavior of pottying outside, and this is kind of like to layer it up and make everything happen faster, is I give verbal praise, sometimes followed by a treat or a toy if they're toy motivated and not food motivated, this is the key, as they are completing their stream or they're completing going number 2. And I have learned this to be effective with puppies that I foster or raise, because a lot of times they start to go potty and you get excited, like, yes, good job, I'm so excited. And then they stop because they get excited and they want to come play with you. So what I do is I wait until they're just at the very end of their stream, and then I'll reward them with my marker cue. My marker cue I use is YES. I will follow that immediately, many times, not always, with a treat. And this really helps reinforce the behavior and desire to go potty outside versus inside. And then you may be thinking, wait, so when they go potty inside, what do? Do I punish them? Do I put their nose in the urine? How do I punish my puppy for going potty indoors? And the simple answer for that, in my strong opinion, is that you don't. This is something I feel extremely passionate about, because in no situation, in my opinion, is there a reason to punish our puppies, period, but especially for going potty indoors, because here's the reality. If you're gonna punish anybody or anything for going potty indoors or having an accident, you probably should look in the mirror. And I say that with love, because anytime our puppies go potty inside or have an accident, that is on me, that is on you. And it's not because you're a bad owner, and it's not because you're neglecting them. It's because you didn't see the cue that they're giving you, that they need to go out, or you didn't act fast enough. Puppies will always tell you when they need to go potty. The way that they're gonna tell you is by changing their behavior. They may go from laying down to standing up. They may start sniffing the ground, and they may only sniff the ground for 1 millisecond, which is why managing the environment is important, and I'll talk about that in a second. Okay, quick side note, if you've been following me on TikTok or Instagram or Facebook, you know I've been a fan and a personal customer of this brand for a long time for their treats, their food. They even have supplements, and the reason that I'm a big fan of this brand is because of their sourcing, because of the quality, and the fact that my dogs love it. Big shout out to Front of the Pack for supporting our mission to save all the damn dogs by sponsoring this part of the video. These are single ingredient, free range, so responsibly sourced treats. I love that they're so easy to use. They're little freeze-dried nuggets. Now, I really wanted to talk about their food because I believe it's one of the most underrated foods out there today, in my opinion. Now, this is one of the only air-dried foods, meaning it is not cooked and extruded like traditional and popular kibbles at extremely high temperatures, which I'm not always a fan of, because when that happens with most popular kibbles, the protein can be denatured in those kibbles. The nutrients can be depleted because it's processed at such high temperatures. Unlike Front of the Pack, you can actually see they're not little processed nuggets. They're almost like little bits of treats, but they're complete and balanced. And one of the more important things to me is that this food does not use any vitamin synthetic packs. In fact, the reason it's called Front of the Pack is because all of the ingredients are on the front of the pack. They don't have anything to hide because if they're not loading it with synthetic vitamin powders, chemicals, or preservatives, they are using real, whole, natural foods. And there's really 3 ways that you could feed this food. 1, you could use it as a treat like we've been doing for Marlo because she goes crazy for it, or you could use a regular treats. You could also add this food on top of your dog's kibble if you want to add more real whole food options in their bowl by removing a little bit of their current kibble and adding a little bit of this to replace it, so we're not feeding too many calories. Or the third option is if you're looking to upgrade your dog's food and you want to feed them something that's not ultra processed. This could be a really good option to try. Again, it'll all be linked down below for you. They may walk in circles. They may walk towards the back door. They may have just eaten, just played, just ran around, just took a nap, just drank some water. All of those are cues that they likely need to go potty. And so even if it's a false cue, I take them out. The way that we can ensure that we never miss one of their cues telling us or signaling to us that they probably need to go potty is to manage their environment with baby gates, play pens, using crates like this. My favorite crate is linked down below. This is the Digs crate, and I'll show a little bit more about that at the end, so that we can always keep an eye on our puppy. If we can't keep a close eye on our puppy, I prefer using playpens or crates for limited time, right? They should not be spending significant amount of time in their crates. In fact, for really, really young puppies, I don't leave them alone in there for more than 2, maybe 4 hours at a time, depending on their size and their age. But one of the biggest mistakes I see new puppy parents doing that lead to more potty accidents indoors is giving their puppy too much freedom too quickly. Now, eventually we want to give our puppy access, many times, to our whole home because they're part of our family. Now, you also may ask me, well, what if my puppy goes outside and they just won't potty? They will wait until I come back inside and then they'll potty. I tried everything. What has really worked for me are 3 things. 1, give them more time. 2, movement, and I'll tell you what that means in a moment. And 3, don't be so exciting. Oftentimes, if I just kind of move to another part of the yard or potty area, whether they're on a harness, some puppies do really well on a harness, and you take them out so that they can't really go run off and just get too much fun. They're really focused on going potty. Or if I just take them in the backyard, I find that if I just kind of move slowly and get them to walk a little bit, it can really stimulate their bladder. The other thing is if they're really engaged in trying to play in something or play with something, sometimes I find that resetting the environment can really help. What I mean by that is we'll come back indoors for like 2-3 minutes, nothing crazy, and then go right back outside. I'm not exciting. I just kind of come in, calm, change the scenery a little bit, then go right back out. Another really important part about potty training are using the right tools, from treats that we use to the crate that we use for her, which this is the Digs crate. I love it because it has this garage style door opening like this. So as I'm crate training her, it makes it really easy for her to get comfortable with it because they're not so super confined. It also opens in the front and the top folds flat, and it's aesthetic. So I do have special links and codes for you linked down below. Then you may ask, well, how long until do I need to do this for? And honestly, every puppy is different. It's gonna depend on their bladder size. It's gonna depend on how disciplined you are and their personality and their experience. What I will say is I've seen puppies potty train in 1 to 3 weeks time when you've been super disciplined for that. The super young guys might take a little bit longer. And if you wanna learn more about my crate training process, click the video right here and we'll jump over there right now and talk about that together. Or if you wanna learn what I love to feed puppies, click the video right here. And I hope you have a beautiful day. Goodbye.